All right, all right. What's going on, guys? Good to see everyone here. We got Milan. What's going on over there in Vietnam? We miss you here in Bali. Milan is an absolute legend and friends with a lot of our freedom business guys that are out here in Bali. We miss you, mate, and we'll see you soon. Albert, what's going on? Rob, hey, man. Always good to see you involved. Mr. Matthew, Nate, Peter Winnett is in. Marcy's in. Shane, beautiful day in Kilmore. Looking forward to today's training. That's great. I'm sure it's quite cold there in good old Kilmore. Miguel, what's going on? Hey, so what's happening over there, guys? I'm really, really pumped to get in today's session. Been really inspired. I was actually up quite late last night on a consulting call. And this guy, he's been in the business game for a very long time, longer than me actually. And he's actually putting together one of the most amazing SaaS businesses that I've ever seen. It's crazy. It's big. It's think like HubSpot or some of these really like Salesforce, some of these really, really large companies with a lot of like moving parts and things involved. So this next level stuff's really cool because I'm helping him with the quite a few things actually. But we went through a bit of a system yesterday, and this is a system that I use in our Antares business to really like drill down and find where that green river is flowing. So I don't know what sort of situation you're in, because I mean I talk to all sorts of people all the time and have all sorts of different clients. Like some of them are just starting, level 1, and some of them are level 3 and well beyond level 3. But the core issue with a business, whether it's a freedom business or not, remains the same. It's how do we get more leads and sales for our business? So this is advanced Green River Systems, and that's definitely what I would love to cover with you here today. Again, I'm not really sure if I should be showing you this, but we'll dive in anyway. So this is, someone asked yesterday, what does our day-to-day look like? This is us kind of waking up, or that's Philip there, one of the team members. He's driving the Antares business a lot, and we're pretty much sitting here in this little spot each day, going crazy and chatting to our outsourced team and everything. It's not really the greatest picture because you can't see the pool behind us, and yeah, it's just an amazing setting. The staff absolutely love us here at this place because we're around every day. We pretty much live here now, so it's quite amazing. The other cool thing about being here is like yesterday I got this little delivery, and it's all my washing neatly done, folded, cleaned, and brought to me. Like I didn't even have to do anything. Brought to me for the one crazy price of $8. Okay, so, and this was a shitload of washing. I don't know whether you're like me, but like I wait to the very last minute and the very last pair of underwear before I sort any form of washing out. So it's pretty crazy. And then I don't know whether you saw this in the last email, but on Sunday we took this massive motorcycle ride all up through the mountains and jungle and everything. But here was some new friends, and it was so funny because this culture of Bali is quite amazing. We're out in the most remote place. Like one of our motorcycles broke down, and this really friendly guy, the guy on the right of me there that's smiling and chatting to me, he's he was riding past and he's like, "Are you guys okay?" And we're like, "Yeah, is there a mechanic?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll get you a mechanic." So they got us this mechanic, and we all ended up back at this mechanic's shop in the village, and it was the talk of the town. All these people in the village came out and saw what we were doing, and they literally repaired everything, did everything that was needed to get us back on the road. And it cost us $4 or something like that, and that was more than what they wanted. And it was just crazy, but they were so friendly and happy and awesome. And these just little adventures along the way are the stuff that you remember. Okay, it's you're using this freedom business income for experiences. And I don't know whether you're like me or not, but as I've gone through, as I've had so much expensive stuff over the course of my life, these experiences are more valuable than anything. Okay, than especially any stuff. And later, what I want to go into is I want to go into wealth and where wealth is, and how you can basically live wealthy like by renting stuff rather than like buying all the stuff, and then using your funds instead to grow your freedom business. Because at the end of the day, wealth is like how many of these experiences you can collect on a day-to-day basis. Like I really feel that. I feel like think about like your past year for an example. Like, can you look back on your past year and sort of say like I had like and think about like the milestone experiences of your past year. Like, do you have like 10 milestone experiences, like that time that you got got stranded in this remote rainforest in Bali, and these like amazing people came out and helped you? Like this guy on the right here, he was all like because they don't speak that great of English, but he's like, do you have wife? And I'm like, yeah, man, I have wife. And like, I open up my phone to the picture, and he's like, oh, very beautiful, very beautiful. I'm like, yeah, cheers, man. I'm like, do you have wife? He's like, no. And it's like so hilarious, like what we can connect on and chat on. And like, here's me, like just some Australian traveling man, and like this dude. But like, these are the things I remember. So if you look back on your past year, how many of those like experiences do you remember? How many of those like milestone experiences have happened to you? Or if you look back, have you just been sitting in the day job of doom? Have you just like, is every day like a blur? Like it's just this one big like kind of blob of the same thing each and every day, each and every week? I don't think that's like gathering wealth. I feel like that's, in terms of experiences, I feel like, we're meant to be out there. We're meant to be collecting these experiences. We're meant to be learning. I don't know whether you've got the same drive as me or the same excitement as me, but like that's where it's at for me anyway. And like just the whole part of it. So last night, we actually got recommended this place by a local friend here. And this is like this noodle place called Jar House in Bali. Now, if you're in Bali or ever in Bali, I highly recommend you check out this place. It's like a place, like I don't do Google reviews, but I did a Google review on this place just because it was so good. Now, it looks kind of like empty and no good from the front, and I probably wouldn't have gone into this place. But little do I know that this chef actually has like Michelin stars at other restaurants, or that's what the rumor is anyway. So we go to this restaurant, and like both Philip and I were like, oh, I don't know about this. And there's an upstairs part that actually looks a lot nicer and a lot more happening upstairs. So we went upstairs, we ordered some stuff, and it was like literally the most incredible food I've ever eaten. Like the stuff that we ate would cost like, these expensive meals that I pay for in Melbourne, like when we go out like full on to like crazy restaurants and stuff, we spend like $200, $300 quite easily just for one meal with you and the wife or some friends or whatever. That like we paid, I think like $30 for the two of us for like Michelin quality food. And like no one knows about this place yet. Okay. It's like, it's not that busy right now. And it's just like, it's incredible. So like, the money that you spend is quite like, you can like, remember what I was saying yesterday with the expenses and income, you can like live like a king in these places and, get everything that you like from Western life, but, somewhere like here as well. So, I really enjoy it. I mean, I'll always have my base and everything set in Melbourne, but I feel like you've still got to get out there and collect these experiences. Otherwise, it will all turn into a blob in the last year. Like Julian, not enough experiences in the last year, been traveling some. Like you need those milestone stuff. Alexander, my last milestone was too long ago, all about the day job of doom in recent years. And Julian, yeah, this is the soup place in Canggu. It is it is incredible, really, really crazy. So yeah, like that's it. Added to bucket list, 5-star Michelin chef noodle bar for $10. So, all right, let's continue. Let's roll forward and let's talk about what's happening here. I just wanted to give you a taste of like freedom business land. Like this is my day to day, right? Like this is what I'm currently doing, and I can switch this up whenever we want. So let's kick this off. I probably shouldn't show you this again. Like I was on with like a really, really high level person last night. As I do, like I have these consulting calls and consulting sessions, and like these are like little, I probably take on 2, 3, maybe 4 of these, generally a year, but sometimes with shorter periods of time as well, like 90 days and stuff. I take on these clients that we do some crazy, crazy work with. But then there's like the Antares business. So basically what I'm doing, SSM is like the chasing the first ring is like what SSM's all about. And then like expanding that into like over 10, 50K a month, like business, freedom business. And that's all really cool. And then the Antares side of the business is churning out these styles of freedom businesses at scale. And then there's, I guess, my consulting side as well, where I take on 2, 3 clients, generally a year. It just depends on the clients, but we take them on and we do some high-level stuff. So this comes from that, and it comes from the Antares side. It comes from the side of like just crazy tools and crazy things that we use to form the piece, like put the pieces together, okay, to find the green river in a more advanced way, okay? So I'm giving this to you here as like a bit of a gift. And like a lot of these, I've hinted at a lot of these things. And you can kind of, this living course, you can put a lot of these pieces together to build something quite crazy. Okay, so I hope you've been enjoying it, and it seems like you definitely have. But I love talking about this stuff. I love doing this, but more importantly, I love seeing people apply it, and I love seeing people get that freedom business success. So that's what we're doing. And of course, like I hope I can reinforce this each and every call, is that this is happening now as we sit here. Like there's no excuses for you. There's no reason why you're not tapping into this. I've given you more than enough up until now to be able to do it and sort of figure it out there on your own. But there's more than enough going on here for you to be tapping into this green river, right? I think you would agree that this is what it's all about, and there's absolutely no excuses and no reasons why we can't be doing this. So one person, one product, one gun. We've covered this, and I'm hoping that you're sort of thinking in this type of way. And I hope that you're thinking of moving at speed. Speed is extremely important. Like get it up, launch it, and then get the data, and then keep moving. Okay, it's so crucial each day that you wake up with that speed and that energy to get going. Like you guys are asking, like, damn, Tim's up at like 5 a.m. When I was up till like 11 last night on this consulting, and I'm up at 5 because I just can't wait to get into this. I know I need to move fast. I know that we need to get in there and make it happen, and I'm excited each day to do it and to live it. So you need to be moving quickly. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is you've chosen, and moving quickly through this, one person, one product, one gun. So the big question becomes and a lot of the questions that I get, whether they're on a high level or a lower level in terms of just getting started in a business, it's how do we find and replicate profitable markets or marketing campaigns? That becomes a huge question. And that's kind of the focal point of the Antares system. And so that's what I want to answer here today. I want to add another piece to that today for this advanced kind of ring system. So we're going to do this by going over to our old pal, Google Chrome, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how to do this live. Now, to get a bit of a hint as to where, especially on level 1, where the green river is flowing, this platform here, Flipper, is where I sold one of my businesses, actually, the one that you saw earlier, Samurai Sales Videos. So I sold it here on Flipper. I actually didn't sell it. I just had someone sell it for me on Flipper as I was starting to get really busy with the other campaigns and the other businesses that I was doing. So Flipper is still really good. I don't recommend ever buying a business off Flipper, but I do recommend selling a business on Flipper if it suits. I've never bought a business on Flipper, that's why I can't recommend it. But definitely there's some good ways to get inspiration in the Green River. And so here's pretty much how to go about it, all right? So what you want to do is, you want to find examples of the Green Rivers flowing. And this is a good way to find, initial examples for level 1. But if you want to go even further with this, so step 1 would be go to Flipper if you're looking at sort of these lower level businesses to start quickly. But if you're looking at higher level businesses, like huge SaaS companies and things like that, you want to check out like Crunchbase, and you want to look at where the big investor money is going. And you can find all that information on Crunchbase and various other sites. But I think with the audience that I have here on YouTube, we're focusing a little bit more on level 1, level 2 style businesses and less on like huge level 3 style businesses. But the process is the same. So you can come to Flipper and you can go to Browse. Okay, and if you have a look here, businesses, I like to sort by profit from high to low. Okay, so businesses for sale, sort from profit high to low. So if we see here, there's some categories that I'll immediately kind of exclude, right? So I'll come here and I'll go to like Zevimo is an e-com dropship store. So like for me, I'm not really like excited about going into e-com dropshipping. So that's not really going to be my thing. It could be your thing and you could go into it if you wanted to, but like it's just not really my thing. T-City, t-shirt design, dropship custom build platform plus trademark, 8 million revenue. That's not too bad. Okay, that's a pretty good one to go and have a look at as well. If that's something that interests you and you want to get into something like that, no problem, tcity.com. So let's explore this for a second. Now, what you can do is obviously go to the domain name, tcity.com. All right, so we go in and we put the domain in, and just to check it out, right? So we've got buy and sell t-shirts and products. Get started now. Okay, interesting. So what we can also do as part of our research, okay, is we can go to SimilarWeb and we can type and we can put T-City in here just to check it out. Let's have a look. So we can go tcity.com. Also, Flipper gives you a lot of information, actually, in general, about the business, which is cool. Okay, thanks. Let's go. Let's try and search. Okay, tcity.com. Cool. So if we have a look, not giving us any data on traffic, which maybe means that they haven't been around for very long or quite long. All of their traffic is direct, which is interesting as well. So there's no data on this, which leads me to be a bit like, oh, interesting. So they've had no real social traffic. It looks like they haven't been around for very long. So let's have a look here at this. We'll actually have a look at the listing. But what we can do as part of this process, now this is one of my favorite tools ever, but most people know about it, but most people don't use it in the right way. So if I go to tcity.com, okay, and I grab this URL. Actually, let's have a look at the listing first. So what we have a look here, it was founded in 2014. Okay, cool. 1.2 million expenses, 3 mil in revenue, net profit. That's pretty cool. And you can view all the stuff. You can look at the profit and loss. You can look at evidence of revenue. And it's pretty interesting. But what we can do here is we can find out a lot more stuff, okay? We can go and we can have a look at, we go tcity.com, we come to this thing called web.archive.org. Now, again, this is like one of the most useful tools for finding the Green River, and I'm about to show you why. So we can put in tcity.com, and if we look at it, right, it looks like this right now, okay? And that's fine, no problems. But the problem that you may encounter when you're looking at competitors and you're looking at businesses is that you're seeing them as they are now. You're seeing them as they've already got like shitloads of clients. They've already got they're already probably doing heaps of different campaigns and things like that. What you would really love to do, would you like a way to go back and look at what they did and how they acquired their customers when they first started? Okay, wouldn't that be super useful? So instead of trying to be them now, why can't you find the same Green River and go back and look at the angles and everything they were using that really made them successful, and look at the homepage that they were using that really made them successful, because you don't know whether they might just be testing this landing page now and it's not really the one that got them all the money. Does that make sense? So think about your website, right? Or your evolution of your websites. you might be testing things. You might be looking at like new websites and things like that. So like, just like other businesses are, but like there might be one sort of website or something like that that was like, that really nailed it for you, that acquired all the customers. So if we go and we look at the Wayback Machine, okay, and we put the thing in here, okay, so this was, when are they claiming it was founded? Claiming 2014, okay, so they obviously bought the domain around this time, but if we have a look in 2013, we can actually see what it was before then. So if we go to here on April 9, we can actually see that website. All right, so it was nothing. Okay, so we can see here, this is just a domain placeholder thing. So they bought the domain, or they acquired that domain around 2014. Now let's see how the journey started. Okay, it looks like here. So you can see it on a graph, and it's interesting when you see these graphs or this like timeline, you can actually see like, it's almost like a stock, right? You can see where the stock starts like really peaking. That's when like a lot of activity and revisions and things are happening. Generally the Wayback Machine, it starts capturing more pages and doing more stuff when like they're getting more traffic and more action. So like you can start to see it like a stock. This isn't a great example, but you'll be able to see it a bit later on when I show you some more examples. So we'll go here on November 26, 2015. This should be around when like they really started doing stuff. Okay, they started really going in. Okay, so it's exactly the same. All right, well, pretty much exactly the same. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's exactly the same. All they changed was like a couple of different things. So that's interesting. So now based on this data, okay, based on this, you can pretty much be sure that this style landing page has worked for them really, really well. Now, we don't know if, and we won't know if they're driving traffic to this exact like landing page, but when you're first starting, this is how you like kind of form your homepage, right? This is how you set it all up. And you can go and find landing pages as well. You just have to do a bit more of a deeper dig. Okay, so it's a really interesting way to go about it, okay? Now, if you were looking at like other businesses, right? Like let's just keep having a look here. So this is an e-commerce one. Let's find something different. All right, so here's a SaaS one, all right, Contexto. All right, so this is an SMS SaaS platform for sale. We'll have a look at this one, Contexto. Okay, so Contexto.com. All right, let's have a look at this guy. Cool. So 1.3 million asking price, found in 2018. All right, really interesting. Okay, so real they spend 462,640 annually, and they make this in revenue. So SMS is their focus, and SMS is the new email. So text message management for e-commerce and digital product owners. Cool. All right, interesting. Cool. Looks good. Looks good. I mean, really good. And I'm sure there's shitloads of competition and all this, but like these guys were able to just attract some of the market, right? That's all you really need. So if we have a look at Contexto here, we'll look at it in a couple of different places, but we really want to look at it in good old Wayback Machine, okay? So if we have a look, we go to SimilarWeb. So let's have a look at Contexto here. Now remember, it was started in 2018, so that's quite interesting. So like it's quite sporadic here. Look, it had nothing in 2018. It was like the domain name was for sale. So really interesting. If we go to like, when did they actually change it? We'll go to like September 2019. So it's quite sporadic. This is one of the reasons I would not buy this business, by the way, if it's like all sporadic and like this doesn't look good at all. And like the domain was still for sale as it, August 4, 2018. So let's list all the captures here so we can drill down a little bit further. So now we're in 2019. Let's have a look at like the May one in 2019. There's not many captures. So like I'm like, what's going on here? Like, how did they get so much money when they haven't really been around for that long? Okay. Let's just have a look here. So no traffic on this one. Okay, but they are getting search traffic. Okay, interesting. So that's not too bad. All right, so they haven't been around for long, so not enough data for them to come through in SimilarWeb. but like they do have search traffic and still have search traffic. So that's fine. Okay. So I'm not too bad with that. That's like another case for this business, I guess. Now let's have a look. We were going back and we were having a look at the actual, so even then, Contexto, if we have a look, 2019. So even in May 2019, like May 6, 2019, okay, that is like not that long ago. It's like a couple of weeks. Look at this. The domain name is for sale. That is a big red flag right there. Okay. So, and the red flag I have is that like, the domain's a long one, but this looks like it hasn't been around for very long. Okay, let's have a look at this team here. Okay, so there's guys here, founders, etc. But like, you just can't really know, right? Like what the story is until you like dig deep into the founder and things. Like I don't want to go crazy on this business, but I would be like really looking into why on Wayback Machine I'm seeing like nothing on May 6th. The domain name being for sale. That's kind of crazy. All right, that's kind of crazy that I'm seeing that. So what do we got here? SMS and new email, etc. How does the business make money? So they ran from April to June 2018. Okay, but like where was the where was the actual proof of that? I'd be really worried about that, to be honest, if that was me. So anyway, that's not a good example, and I'd be moving on. But someone's probably going to pay 1.3 million for that. So whatever, let's keep going. So keep going here. Confidential business name. These look like e-commerce. You'll find a lot of these confidential ones, and that's fine. You just keep going until you find some stuff that you like. So like I mentioned before as well, is like you can like grab like bigger companies. You can even like look at Amazon.com and things like that. You can look at all sorts of different crazy stuff. But like this company here, this is a really interesting one. So Bright Verify, like if we just land on the website, for example, I just like the landing page. I like the business. I think it's sold for like 50 million or something like that, this actual business. So like if we have a look, it says lisa@gmail.com is not real. And what else have we got? lisa@gmail.com is real. Real customers start with real emails. Real emails start with Bright Verify. See how it works. How good was that like as a landing page? This is a really, really good landing page. It tells a really good story. It points directly at the problem, okay? It just tells the story of this business and why it's important, and solves a real problem. So, and we go further with this. A misspelled email is a missed customer, and a fake email is a real problem. All right, with some visual there. Bright Verify email verification. Collect better emails, send smarter campaigns. This is a great landing page to model. Okay, and again, it's sold for like 50 million or something like that. So what we can do is go here, get the domain, and we can put it into something like this, brightverify.com. All right, let's have a look. So this is something that's pretty cool. So now note that we see now, this was like started to get traction around here in 2012. All right, so this one is looking more like a stock, right? Now I don't know when it sold, maybe 2018, because it looks like the stock's declining here a little bit, right? So we can see like we've got a peak around here. What I like to do with this graph, okay, and how I use it, or how we use it in Antares, is we come to like here, where like right before the spike, right before you can see where like we've got takeoff and we've got traction. Because if it's a brand new business that you're launching, you want to see that. You want to see the angle that they're using and what they're doing before they get traction. So like let's go here, around here before like the takeoff, and just click and check it out. Okay. All right, sweet. So now what we've got is like how it all began, okay? And we can start to paint the picture of this business and how it got to where it is. And it's really useful for you, because then you can go and like grab the angles, like, because with businesses, like they have like angles and campaigns that really built the business. So for these guys, here was their first headline, and here was their first sub-headline. True email verification. Stop bouncing, start connecting. Okay. So now they tell the story, and I think this is really great. I think it's probably better, which is why they've evolved to here. But it's kind of cool to see this, right? So what did they start off with? They had these forms and they had these files, all right? And like the great thing to do is like swipe the copywriting, okay? So we can go here, true email verification, stop bouncing, start connecting. No contracts, no setup fees, just pay as you go. These are like important points that probably should be addressed in your landing page if you were going into like this business or this style of business. Okay, so really, really useful, all right? Really, really crazily useful. And again, this is like one of those advanced Green River tactics that I don't really share or talk about. It's like one of, a swag of tools that like is one of my things that I use before we start launching and going into these different businesses, or with consulting clients or things like that. So this is extremely useful. You can go and do it for pretty much any business, right? Like, so, we were looking at things like, if we look at like, big business like HubSpot.com, you can go and see these like giant companies and how they started and where it started. So it's like, it's pretty cool. So they now have this, this is their headline now. There's a better way to grow. Okay, interesting. Now, if you have a look, HubSpot's had really consistent overall growth year on year. Okay. As a side note, would this be useful as a tool when if you were looking to maybe invest in a company? Absolutely, right? So this is really cool. So like if we have a look here, HubSpot like kind of started like pretty good, and then it started to really take off here. This was its first. We can really argue that its first little jump was here. So we can have a look way back in 2006, and I'm sure it'll look terrible because of where we've got to. Yeah, look at this. This is very technical. So it looks like they started from an extremely technical background, delivering the power of enterprise software, right size for very small businesses, blah, 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 right? Like super technical. So it looks like they're in build phase here right now. Okay, so now if we move forward a little bit, like for 2 years, let's start painting a bit more of a picture here. Go forward a little bit. Okay, cool. So now we're starting to attract some more customers into the business. So internet marketing software to get more leads. Hey, what's really interesting is that this angle works really, really great today, all right? Internet marketing software to get more leads. Get more website visitors. Convert more visitors into leads. Turn more leads into customers. Request a demo. Now, for you, if you had a business that was all about generating more leads for other customers, then wouldn't it be useful to go and swaggerjack HubSpot's, like the angle that HubSpot used to acquire its first crazy amount of customers? Okay, would that be useful to you? Hell yeah, that'd be useful to you. So like you can literally just swipe those ads angles and even like calls to actions from campaigns that are already proven and have been proven to work. So yeah, I've literally dropped like maybe one of the biggest bombs ever like for you to go and run with and like go crazy with. So like that's one. Okay, let's see how it evolved even further. So as you can see, it's a little spike here. We'll go have a look at what they did here in this one. Let's have a look. All right, cool. So now they're starting to introduce video into their sales process. This is around 2011. Funnily enough, what year did I launch Samurai Sales Videos? It was around 2011 when video was becoming the way to describe and sell products. So now what do we have here? An all-in-one inbound marketing software. Okay, so now we're starting to like hit on different points here. So they've like obviously done the research and come through this type of period and they've grown. And then what they've realized is their customers need this. They need multi-channel analytics, A/B testing and landing page tools, blogging, SEO, social media tools, marketing automation tools. Okay, request a demo or free trial. Okay, so now we're starting to like get a clearer picture. Now here is where like things like really take off again. So let's have a look at what happened before this little takeoff here in 2011. We'll go and click here now. Okay. Okay. Say hello to the new HubSpot. So they had a reinvention. Okay. They had a big reinvention. Say hello to the new HubSpot. The world's #1 inbound marketing software platform just got better. Okay. Now we have a little view here of like a bit of a demo here. And view all the new features. 10,000 businesses have already said hello. Okay. So like when we talk about landing page elements, okay, we tend to think like, you know, and we tend to look at landing pages like as they are now. But what you don't realize is that like that business may be in test mode. Okay, you want to go and find the angles, the elements, and the landing pages that worked when they had growth. Okay, when they had growth or where they are having growth. So like you can go way back to the things that like built that company. All right. So like guys, this is crazy. Like this is like ridiculous stuff. Like if you were to go and say you were to create the next HubSpot, you would go here and you would look at these like spikes and you would look at your own journey, where you're at and where the customers you're acquiring. And you would like, for me, if I was to start this business, I would go back and like I would look at like, I would look exactly at like what was causing like all this activity. And yeah, come and just like literally the elements are there. So what you do is you say, okay, I'm putting my logo here. I'm putting my menu here. I'm putting my my headline here and my sub headline here. And this is the size I want my headline. This is the size I want my sub headline. Okay, so they have like a little demo screenshot here. So that's where I put a demo screenshot. You know, I probably wouldn't do this page. I would probably do the page that I had before. Not that one either. I would do the like this one here. Okay, but like I wouldn't model this page exactly. I would take this here and I would turn it into something modern. Internet marketing software to get more leads, get more website visitors, convert more visitors to leads, turn more leads into customers, request a demo. Like that angle and that whole thing can be swiped and used today. Okay. So it's this is a difficult business. This is like a very different business to copy. But like I'm sure what I've done now is like almost like dropped a little mental mind bomb for you to go and like truly find out some successful companies and like swipe angles and specifically swipe the angles that resulted in those spikes, that resulted in that traffic. Now, if you want to get even further technical, again, this is you know, deep dive into like my Antares process and pretty damn cool here. So like what you want to do is you want to go to trends.google.com, and what you can do is you can kind of match this graph with like the trends that they have in Google. So like you can put the topic HubSpot, or you can just like you can even try the domain and see if that like gets you anything or gets you anywhere. So yeah, we'll remove that here. We'll put in HubSpot as that, and interest over time, and we can go like 2000. We can go all the way back to 2004. All right. So if we look here, trends actually gives you that interesting like trends gives you that like when spikes are happening. Okay, in their business. So like if we look here and we go like, and this is, by the way, this generally shows you traffic, okay? Generally, all right? Because, you know, a lot of it aggregates, like Google Trends aggregates Google search data, which like people searching stuff, like as you can see here, web search, but it also aggregates like news and things like that as well. Like web search is the most powerful for us to use. And again, like you can choose by like region and everything. It's like all the data, guys, all the data is here. Like I said to you at the start of this course, everything is there and ready for you to tap into the Green River. So like here was a big spike in September 2009. So what can you do? You can go back and you can go to September 2009. All right, so if we go September, this will be September 2007. So we want to go 2000. I'll just keep moving it forward here. We're going to go September 2008. We'll go September 2009. Okay, so this is where they had like a big like jump in what they were doing in terms of like, there was some sort of like thing here. So what I'm guessing is they were running like some crazy like marketing. And like what we have here is something pretty damn amazing, right? Like this is what they're targeting, okay? Get found. So they do a SEO blogging social media solution. Convert, landing pages, lead tracking and intelligence lead management. Analyze, analytics, competitive analysis, lead scoring equals HubSpot. So this is the HubSpot business. And this is like what I guess they decided was really important for them to communicate. So like, again, like, I really don't want you to become Gary the research man, okay? I do not want you to become Gary the research man. But what I do want you to do is use these tools and use these methods to get a really clear picture on the Green River. You can get angles, you can get web page elements, you can get everything here. So again, like dropping, I didn't know whether to share it with you because, you know, again, this is like some higher level stuff. But again, like this is how I start. Like if I sit down with a high-end client or whatever, this is what we start doing as part of our process. There's quite an in-depth process, but it's all checklisted, right? Like it's not just like, hey, maybe we check trends and HubSpot and all this stuff. Like it's not like, it's an actual system and pretty much gives you with like almost 99% certainty where the Green River is flowing and what you can do quickly to capitalize on that. So yeah, advanced stuff, and I think you're ready for it. I think this is cool, whatever you're using here. So let's chat. Let's go into some questions around this, and let's talk about this a little bit before I jump off. A little shorter session here today because I have some more consulting that I need to do, but it's really, really cool. So let's have a look. So what are those spikes? Revisions? What goes into the bar chart? Yeah, so from what I can gather, it's actually activity on the page. So I feel like Wayback Machine has its own algorithm that takes snapshots whenever there's like changes on the page, and whenever that gets filtered through to like Google or something. I don't know how it gets its data, to be honest, but yeah, it's a pretty surefire bet. Like when you're seeing that chart, almost like a stock chart, that, you know, the spikes or those like increases are like revisions, but also like I feel like it weighs in activity as well. So combined with like Google Trends and SimilarWeb and other tools like that, you can start to paint a pretty damn good picture in that. By the way, if you're into any consulting at all, or anything at all, like SEO, or like if your business does consulting, this is like quite the value bomb that you would be able to take and use and show your potential clients in whatever business it is that you're doing. It's quite impressive and quite useful. So feel free to go and use it, okay, and enjoy it. Sweet. So Nate, what's going on, Nate? If you're using Wayback Machine to explore different markets and the competitors in that market show inconsistent traffic year on year, would you see that as a product or service to be skeptical or avoid? Yes, I would. If it's inconsistent and inconsistent traffic, and like you're not seeing like, you know, general growth year on year, my period also is 3 months. So for me, a business has to be around for 3 months or more for me to be even looking at it or interested in it. Because here's the thing, like, you know, there's no point in looking at or going through these businesses that don't have the consistency, don't have the growth each year, and don't have the indicators that are pointing you in the right direction. It's just like silly to go and explore that. Because if you look at a market like HubSpot's market, you know, it's millions and millions and millions of people, like that market. So like how much market, like if you can capture like 0.01% of the HubSpot market or like that type of market, then you've got like a crazy good freedom business. All right. Like you can segment those things, right? So like if you have a look and we look at something like HubSpot, All right, let's look at this. So like get found, SEO, blogging, social media, those things were really important component of HubSpot. Convert, landing pages, lead tracking and intelligence, lead management. So you know what's really interesting is like HubSpot does all of this in one. So in 2009, imagine if you launched a business that was just a pure landing page building software, okay? And you launched that and it was just focusing on one of these problems that like these huge, businesses was solving, all right? So if you have a look here, like there's a reason people buy like these software. And generally it's not all of this shit. Generally like the customer comes and they're like, oh, you know what? I really need better landing pages. So like landing pages becomes their thing. And now what you're seeing, okay, in the market now, if you come to like 2019, you're seeing like really cool solutions to build landing pages, Thrive Themes. ClickFunnels wasn't even around here in 2009. So like this is how you can like really, like this is how you find the green river, and this is how you can like niche down, okay, and like niche down into something that's like going to work and proven it's going to work because, hey, like, here's the trends, here's like the company that's been doing it, and like people are attracted to this company. Okay, it's an all-in-one solution, but in general, they're solving a particular problem. So they come to like a big like, thing like this, and they go, oh, you know what? I'm buying this, but I'm really getting it because I need my analytics. My analytics sucks. And now we have businesses like Baremetrics. Baremetrics is like an analytic dashboard, okay? That like literally, shows you your growth in your business, okay? And people are signing up to this thing and it's going crazy itself, and it's really good. It's a cool little SaaS business. And it was built purely off like, one of those things, okay? One of those things that you can pivot off inside one of these big monstrosities. So I think what's going on here is like, you can see the history and predict the future. That's what we can do here. We can see the history and predict the future. Now, you sitting over there are sitting on the absolute gold mine as it is. You are literally sitting on a gold mine, okay? Here is the mine. Here is where the like people have been mining in the past, okay? And here is like where you can position and like focus your future. You can literally use this past to predict the future, okay? So guys, like please do it. Like this is all I'm asking. And yeah, thanks for the love. Like I love what you said at the beginning, that you can rent instead of buying its stuff up front. Absolutely, man. Like that's forms a big cornerstone of my life for sure. And I'll go more in depth on that perhaps in the next session. So yeah, dude, Chris, better than some paid courses out there. Thanks, mate. Yeah, like you should see the paid stuff. But anyway, how deep do you go into researching competitors? Like deeper than this, to be fair. However, I set a time limit on it. But also like I've got Antares now, so my VAs do a lot of this stuff for me. And I get reports. So my VAs go ahead and they do this intelligence work, and then so I've taught them all this stuff, but like in sequences and checklists and processes. So they go ahead and they do this, and then I get a report that basically says, here's a market, this is going to be amazing, off you go. Yeah, guys, we're sitting here. And we're sitting on a gold mine. Do you feel like perhaps that it's pretty exciting where you are right now? Like, I mean, what do we got on the chat here? Like 100 people or something like that. Like the fact that you've made it this far, and the fact that you have like got to, you've been following this and you've been dabbling in it, or you've been doing something in it, is like quite exciting, because literally you're there ready for the gold mine. So cool. I'm gonna leave you with that, guys. I have a call in 10 minutes with another session, but like I really wanted to drop that for you. Hey, like what I'd love you to do is on the next session, which actually isn't going to be tomorrow, I'm gonna have the next session the day after. And the reason is there's one of my friends, good old Tucker Max. I don't know whether you've heard of this guy, Tucker Max. I have a call with him in the morning. We're going to talk about hired his company actually to look into writing a book together. So he's got this company that writes books and stuff. He actually spoke at an event a couple of years ago. But Tucker's just an absolute legend. I've got a call with him at this time tomorrow morning. So we're going to catch up the next day, all right? And so really looking forward to it. I think you've got a bit of work to do. So an action step after this one, after we've gone forward, after we've looked at where this ring is happening, I'd like you to put a time limit, or like, let's just say from now until our next chat, which is going to be not tomorrow, the next day. Okay, so from now until our next chat, what I want you to have done is I want you to do this research. I want you to look into Wayback. I want you to look into trends, and I want you to look into perhaps niching down on an idea. Okay, this is the era we're in. We're in the information economy now. It's only growing. It's only getting bigger, and the problems that are getting solved in our markets out there are only getting more focused. Okay, so if you can find one little problem and one little focus that you can pour into, like this one, it focused on like data verification for emails and plugging that into people's businesses. And I mean, that's really useful for me because I get shitloads of signups on my like email opt-in forms, but like there's a lot of garbage customers. All right, so like if you can do this, if you can find these problems that people were already paying for out there in the market, like the sky's the limit for you. It really is. It really is. So please go ahead and do this before our next chat. And before our next chat, I'm going to show you, all right, how to turn that into gold. So I need you to have the idea. I need you to come to the call with that idea, and I'm going to show you how to find that gold, or how to build something really rapidly to get that gold. All right, does that sound awesome? All right, got a little bit of work to do, but you can see it, right? You're on the gold mine, and it's time to go. All right, so let's get in there. All right, thanks guys. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and kick some ass. All right, let's go ahead and find it. And listen, is this, or could this be the start of like the next like rad company? Like think about this. Imagine if you started something here based on this research and based on these problems, and you launched it, and within like the next couple of months, you acquired your first like 100, 200 customers. And then like it became like this crazy thing that maybe got acquired in like a year or 2 years or something, because you did so well at solving that particular problem that was already there. But if you did that, how good would this be? And then you can come join me in Bali. Come join us at a live event, and we can talk about how this all began. All right. So I love your work, guys. And again, I want to give you this because, you deserve it. You've watched through till now. Get in there, and I cannot wait to see the ideas and the stuff that you choose. All right, so don't forget, we've got. I really appreciate, by the way, all the emails and everything that are coming through. So if you want to hit me up, tim@timothymark.com. Best way to get me. And like, if I haven't responded to your email yet, I'll be on it. Don't worry. Again, I've got heaps of stuff going on. I'm going to jump to my next call. So guys, take it easy. I love your work. And how good is life? This is the best. We'll chat real soon. Cheers.